Good morning, children. We are going to start our first unit in Standard 12. It is Unit 6. The lesson is reproduction. The topic is reproduction, under which there are many chapters. We are going to see the first chapter, Chapter 1, Reproduction in Organisms. So it's talking about a general reproduction both in plants and animals. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to introduce some 28 new words in chapter 1.1. So it's very simple. The topic is reproduction in organisms. That is chapter 1. And in that 1.1 is talking about asexual reproduction. So now we have to know what is reproduction, what is asexual reproduction. We are going to start now. And I am going to introduce, I said children, 28 new words. That's all. This chapter is over. See how simple it is. And when you talk about reproduction, first we have to talk about life. How precious the life is, how beautiful the life is. And the life is originated in the planet Earth. We don't know about life elsewhere in the universe. We don't know. But this is the only planet with life. And I'm going to introduce the first word to you today related with life. We always call it as lifespan. Lifespan. I say the finger like this, lifespan. That shows from birth to death. That period is called lifespan. Now, what is the meaning of lifespan? It's the period in which an organism's from birth to death is called lifespan. So it varies, animal to animal it varies. That I am going to give you a worksheet, so I am not going to discuss now. So the first word is about lifespan. So birth to death, the period is called lifespan. So it's a simple one sentence answer. Now we have to move into the next word, the reproduction. You know production, the production of toys, production of bike and cars using some raw materials. But what is reproduction? The word re means again. You can purchase a car or produce a car, but the car cannot reproduce another car. A toy cannot reproduce another toy. So the word re means again. So producing again and again and again. So that's the meaning for the word reproduction. So producing young ones similar to their parents again and again. This process is called reproduction. So producing young ones, the other word we call the offsprings, similar to the parent. That is very important. Similar to the parent is called reproduction. So I have introduced two words, children. Lifespan, the period of from birth to death. Then second, the reproduction, the beautiful life process. Now automatically I have introduced along with another one new word in this. In the reproduction, producing young ones are offsprings. So that's the meaning. Very simple. The third word is offspring, young ones. That is the third word. So the first one is lifespan, reproduction, offspring. Now I am going to introduce a very technical term which we use in this topics in biology called the gamete. What is the gamete? See, every organism is made up of a cell. And that cell is only going to, some animals are single cell and other animals are multicellular, whatever may be the nature, whether it's a plant or animal. While reproduction, there are different methods of reproduction. So one is reproduction without the union of nucleus, without the union of nucleus. That we call it as asexual reproduction. When two different nucleus fuse together and form a life, that is called sexual reproduction. So these three terms are related, which I am using. Gamete, formation of life without gamete, formation of life with the fusion of gametes. So gamete is a unit of life. So that we are going to deal in the chapter 1.2 very detailed, so I am not going in detail. And you have a doubt, again you can ask me and I will send you the detailed answer. So gamete is a nucleus of a cell which is present in the plants and animals. When they fuse together and form a life, it is called sexual reproduction. When the gametes without fusion they form a life, it is called asexual reproduction. Then so when they fuse, the word fuse, join, mix together, that is called, technically, biologically, it is called fertilization. So gametes, the nucleus of the gametes fuse or mix, unite, that is called fertilization. The new word is fertilization. So the lifespan, reproduction, offspring, gamete, fertilization, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. 7 words are over already. I am going to use a very, very new word called clone. Clone is nothing but an organism producing morphologically and genetically the same copy is called clone. It is nothing but like a Xerox copy. An amoeba divided into 2 amoeba and become 2 different individuals, morphology and its genetical makeup all are same. So such organisms, such process by which producing the same type of organisms is called clone. So now I have given 8 words. These 8 words I can group it into one heading called Introduction to Asexual Reproduction. So while you are writing an essay, you can write an essay heading Introduction to Asexual Reproduction. How to start an essay? The heading itself says it's reproduction, asexual reproduction. So you can start from lifespan. Lifespan, then you explain about reproduction, then you tell about offspring, tell about gamete, fertilization, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and finally clone. So these 8 words comprise an introductory topic to the chapter 1, asexual reproduction. This is one part. In chapter 1, 1.1, out of 28 words, 8 words I have given you under one heading called Introduction to Asexual Reproduction. Now you can write a paragraph. Children, it's very simple, I tell you. You learn these tricks. I'm going to teach different tricks and different topics. This is the first lesson being I just used the simplest trick. So I made that entire lesson as 28 words and I made it into 3 groups. The group 1, 8 words, comprises of, comes under the heading Introduction to Asexual Reproduction. It's an introduction. Now I am going to see in detail asexual reproduction in microorganism. Organism comprises of plants and animals both. So you can say micro plants and micro animals, micro level. And after micro level, we move on to protozoa and multicellular. That is the third part. So I am just making it into three group of some nine words. That's all. So first part is over, introduction is over. Now we are going to enter into the topic asexual reproduction in microorganisms. When you talk about microorganisms, in biology we use the word protists. Pro means first. Protists means unicellular organism. Single-celled animals are called protists. So normally the one best example normally we use is amoeba. Amoeba, Chlamydomonas, Paramecium, they are volvox, they are the best examples. Now the next word. So the word one is protists. 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 That's the pronunciation. It is nothing but single-celled organism, unicellular organism. Example: amoeba, Chlamydomonas, Paramecium, volvox. So I have given you 4 examples.